I'm excited to show you our meeting prep feature, which we launched recently. But before I show that to you, I wanted to frame the problem. So top reps spend nearly 2+ hours a day on prep. Those who actually spend that time do tend to win more, not because they're smarter, but because they walk into every meeting with the context, a hypothesis, and a plan. And the reality is most reps don't do that. Good prep isn't just web searches. It's synthesizing past deals, analyzing the risks, stakeholders, as well as the positioning. And 90% of the reps don't have the time or the systems to do it well. What Brevian does is it takes that elite level of prep and makes it available to everyone in your company. Now, let me show you what that looks like, right? The minute a meeting lands on your calendar, Brevian automatically analyzes the attendees and creates the prep notes, right? It gathers all this information in one place. As you can see here, Brevian has pulled together the company overview and their positioning. In this case, we see this company has a unified intelligence platform. Also some strategic moves like acquisitions they've made. We see a SkyLayer acquisition that could be interesting to ground our conversation in. Also a brief idea of their competitive landscape and also the key stakeholders who are in this meeting and how to approach them. In this case, we see Jason Lee and Priya Raman are the two attendees. It tells us how to approach them in a conversation. Now notice that this isn't generic web scraping. It's actually combining data from different sources. It's analyzing it based on your past deals and conversations with similar customers and weaving that into a hypothesis. You can see predicted pains here and how to approach the conversation. And these pains are analyzed not just on web searches, but like I mentioned, other deals of similar nature. We also surface up discovery questions. We've seen this to be pretty useful. Reps tell us that they always find 2 to 3 questions that they didn't think of that are super useful for a meeting. And then a set of meeting outcomes that you should be driving. I really like this part, which is we also surface up case studies. So if you're an enablement, you're going to love this. If you produced a case study and are worried whether reps are using it, Brevian surfaces it up based on the type of customer they're engaging with and matches it up and highlights all the key metrics that you've delivered for them. This enables reps to be prepared and know and get credibility that they've solved similar problems before. Now let's fast forward to the second meeting. Imagine if this was our second meeting with Nova Data, what would that look like? In this case, we start off, we transition from it being a static context to dynamic deal intelligence. We recap what's happened in the deal so far with actual quotes from the customers. We, surface up new stakeholders that have shown up in this meeting and how to approach them. But more interestingly, we highlight, key sort of qualification gaps. In this case, we realize we don't really know who the economic buyer is. We have some weak champion signals. And there's a possibility that it's going to stall in stage 3 or 4, right? Deal risks are really important. And in this case, it catches very nuanced risks. For example, in this, it highlights that there's a perception that we might be just another copilot and AI copilot for sales. And we need to get ahead of that because that's not true. So which means we haven't done a great job of positioning it. And so we need to get ahead of that in this meeting. And then we also surface up, the key questions that you should be driving towards in this meeting and outcomes. Now, it's important to realize we don't rely on perfect CRM data. In fact, we assume your CRM data is not going to be great, right? We extract this information from risk signals from other deals, as well as deep context on all your conversations with this customer and any kind of product knowledge and sales enablement material you have. So instead of just preparing reps, we are improving execution live. We are surfacing risk before forecast calls, and we are operationalizing patterns from top performers back into active live deals. And that's the difference between a prep tool and an execution engine. If you'd love to see what this looks like for you, sign up for a demo on Brevian.ai. Looking forward to it. Thanks.